きなだけ撫でていいよ。古いです。
I think he understands instinctively as a man that, oh, Ganao is suffering silently. He is suffering in this isolation. Let's make sure he's not alone. Because social isolation is detrimental to anyone. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated licensed psychotherapist and your professional yapper. Welcome back to my detailed psychological analysis of Frieren Season 2, Episode 7. Happy Frieren Friday. Assassination Zero, Samsonian, Helixy, Jinichimaru, and Roxy Love are these founding sponsors of today's videos. I appreciate your support. Sit back, and I hope you enjoy my reaction to Frieren Season 2, Episode 7.
しばらくは2人で北部高原の魔族の討伐任務に当たってもらう。
So this is the backstory that led to Ganao, Gnu, and Method being dispatched and being deployed together. Ganao-san. Damn! Damn, Ganao! No handshake? He didn't even look at Method. He's like, oh, I'm a senior first class mage. Shaking your hands as a junior first class is beneath me. I don't know. I don't know why I had that voice. I don't know where that came from. Because obviously Ganao cares deeply based on what's underneath his stoic presentation last episode. But anyway. Damn. All right. Yo, Method's hand is still extended. And Zari looks like she's in deep contemplation. And I guess Ganao's only reservation and concern is do not hold me back, which I'm guessing reveals how powerful Ganao is. Nice. See? I called it. Zari cares deeply. She disapproves Ganao's holier than thou, this elitist mindset. It's like, yo, shake your hands because Method is also my student and so are you. Now it's ordered by Zari herself. So there you go. Yo, Zari's aura, man. She doesn't always talk much, but when she speaks with volume and magnitude. Because at the end of the day, no matter how cute and petite Zari appears to be based on Methods, right? She was like, oh, you're so cute. She is still, at the end of the day, the being closest to Goddess herself. She needs to be revered. Interesting question. Where'd that come from? Same. Aww. As a first class mage also. First of all, Ganao, Mr. Ganao-san, you need therapy bad. You need life coach, emotional healing. You need therapist first and foremost. I'm sure with your wealth and prestige, you can 100% afford one. Secondly, do not mistaken. What Ganao is saying and what we're witnessing is his grieving process. This is a reference back to episode 6, like I talked about. Underneath his seemingly stoic presentation, there's emotions, there's humanity, there is this recognition of grief, loss, and trauma. He is longing for his previous partner who died in a battlefield, he sounds like. He was boisterous, full of life. He drew people to him. Do you think you're a good person? Because my previous partner, he was indeed a great person, whereas I'm not. But I survived. He did not. I think this is also another callback to what Method and Ganao are saying in the church when they're looking at all the dead bodies. Remember, Ganao said, why does it have to be them? Why not us, who volunteered for this life of battles as first-class mage ordained by Zari herself? But these villagers were innocent. I think that's what he's not saying, but what I'm picking up on. I think he's trying to say that I'm not a good person. Are you? Because my previous partner was a good person, but he died. Why did I get to survive as an air quote bad person? That's survivor's remorse, survivor's guilt. Poignantly and beautifully portrayed in a very through subtlety. And obviously Frieren, I would argue, is a category of one, and no other shows does subtle emotional storytelling more adequately, more beautifully than Frieren itself. Right? I think that's what the purpose of Ganao's question to Method and what he's really trying to say. So all of this is part of his grieving process, although of course it's very siloed, very suppressed. Oh man, exactly what I said. That's rough.
子供をかばって死んだんだ。
Oh man.
おかげで魔族を仕留め損ねた。
Goosebumps.
私だったらそんなバカな真似は絶対にしない。
なぜ私なのですか？
So sounds like this is his second time encountering with the four-armed demon. First of all, that four-armed demon killed his partner who sacrificed his life to protect the child. What a hero. True respect. Second thing, this is the same demon that killed my partner and now for the second time slaughtered my hometown, my home village. This is again such a powerful, subtle, indirect yet powerful portrayal about his re-exposure to trauma re-exposure. Unless we confront our trauma head on, when we're ready, through safety, appropriate guidance, trauma will continue to revisit us and haunt us for the rest of our lives. Our impacts and the implications of trauma, they do not just simply go away. Sure, time can be medicine, but time in itself solely is not medicinal. You need supplemental effort in addition to time. That's why I think Ganao is triggered and activated. That's why he told Method, do not hold me back. Because he is a man on a mission of vengeance. He needs to avenge for his previous partner and also his home village, all the villagers. But of course, all of this is before they actually went out.
何がだ？
ゲナウさんと組むのがです。
さあな。ゼイリエ様の決めたことだ。
According to Frieren, Zairi has perfect intuition. What does that say? Matchmaking between Ganao and Method is not coincidence or accidental. So I think because of the risk and when we are swayed and overwhelmed by emotions, in Ganao's case, it's anger, rage, bloodlust for revenge. When we are overwhelmed by emotions such as anger, we are prone to make mistakes. Our cognitive processing will be compromised. But us who are going through that situations, the stressor, the circumstances with our blinders on, being hyper-focused has its perks, has its benefits. It makes us more effective. With the caveat that when we're hyper-focused under this emotional whirlwind, we will make mistakes because we are not making perfectly rational decisions. I think that's why Zairi team matched Ganao with Method. Because Method is the only first-class mage that knows how to use goddess magic, aka healing. And secondly, she's also highly intuitive. And third, she's more well-rounded, more composed, more unbiased. So I think Zairi is using methods to kind of balance out Ganao's maybe bloodlust nature because he is a man on the mission with this emotional whirlwind. That's my guess.
ただ一つ言えることは、北部高原の任務を任される一級魔法使いは
Will die?
三度の飯より戦いが好きなやつだ。
Oh, okay. It's true.
好きなやつなんてろくな人間じゃない。お前は私のようにはなるな。
Again, Ganao is like, no decent person likes fighting. Do not end up like me. Again, what he's not saying, but I think implying, is make sure you also honor your emotions, your grief, trauma, loss. Do not suppress and deny emotions, which is a fundamental part of who we are, like me. Because if you end up like me, it is a lonely, lonely existence. I think that's what he's saying. Or am I being overly optimistic?
それじゃあ探索に出発する前に情報共有しておこうか。
Oh, what a scene, dude. Absolutely
魔力
beautiful.
の痕跡などから解析した結果、
That's a lot. Yeah.
そのうち1体は魔族の将軍。
Demon General. That's the one that overpowered Captain from the Nor Company, which was stronger than Stark, based on what Frieren said. And question for the viewers, based on light novels or whatever, obviously avoid spoilers. How many Demon Generals are remaining? Because I think all 7 Grey Sages died, right? I know the hero of the South took out 4 by himself, and I think remaining parties took out the other 3. But how many Demon Generals are there left?
将軍って何なんだ？
Great
熟練
question.
の魔族の戦士のことだよ。強大な魔力で身体能力を強化して武術を操るんだ。
Damn! Wow.
王軍にはアイゼンよりずっと強い将軍もいたよ。
マジかよ。
Some of the demon generals in the Demon King's armies were far, not just stronger, far stronger than Aizen the warrior? What?
おまけに今回の相手は人の姿とはかけ離れている。
Through magic enhancements?
4本持った剣術の達人と戦ったことあ
Ah, lack of experience. Wow.
る？私もないよ。
Oh, shit. That's true. That's true. I don't know if any of you guys watching are like martial arts, UFC, one championship enthusiasts, but part of the practicing for combat intelligence and combat skills is to familiar yourself with your opponent's techniques, tactics, and gameplay. That's why we did post-game analysis, not just in martial arts, but also any sports. Post-game analysis is crucial. But think about how difficult the post-game analysis process for Method and Stark to replicate the injury wounds, the fatalities, to finally conjure up and speculate that, oh, it was probably a 4-armed demon who wielded 4 swords. That's the level of uncharted territory. That is a level of unfamiliarity. How can they prepare themselves with combat skills and tactics and strategies if they've never fought a non-humanoid 4-armed demons, let alone a demon general that could be potentially far stronger than Aizen, Stark's master himself? That's what Frieren's saying. Neither have I. What do we do? Right? Oh, it's about to be peak. Who's this? Oh, shit. Oh, that's the demon. Oh, Lord Revolt. Okay, so title for the episode is Divine Revolt, and that's the name of this demon general.
魔力の高いごちそうです。魔法使い4人に戦士1人、うち3人は1級です。
Damn.
勝てない数ではありませんね。仕掛けますか？
いや、
She looks pretty strong though.
嫌な予感がする。分
Ah.
散するまで待とう。
Whoa. Yo.
そ
Demonic
のため
arts?
に大勢殺して喧嘩を売ったんだ。私はこの北部高原で多くの村落を滅ぼすうちに気がついたことがある。
なんです。
Nandesu?
それじゃあ
Damn. You're gonna leave us hanging like that? Dang, Divine Revolt, you freaking cliffhanger.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
And also, again, indirectly, that reveals how powerful Divine Revolt's either mana detection skills or simply combat wisdom, experiential wisdom, just like Frieren. With hundreds and hundreds of years of experience in combat, especially as such a refined, exceptional fighter as a demon general, you pick up one or many things along the way. So I think unlike the little underling, that the cute little girl-looking demon, she's like, oh, shall we attack them? We could handle them. Whereas the more experienced one, Revolt's like, no, I have a bad feeling. Let's wait until them to split up. I think that's a parallel process with Frieren's experiential learning, experiential wisdom, and a Divine Revolt's experiential wisdom as well. but of course they're on the opposing parties. Fascinating.
魔族の探索に出発しよう。
Oh, one more thing. Remember in episode 6, they also talked about, I wonder why they didn't eat them. Why did they simply slaughter the villagers but left their bodies intact? He said it. This was all part of a psychological provocation. He did it to revoke either Zairi or the first mage class parties to dispatch more first class mages. So all of this was strategic by the demon general. Very, very smart.
まずは北にある宝そういう場所は魔族の潜伏先になっている
Oh,
こと
they're
が多
splitting.
いからね。
Wow, he was right.
待て、
Mate.
ノルム騎士団
ほんと
が
待って
死体を引き取るまで
Interesting.
に残る習性
Yo, he called it. What the?
興味深いです。なぜなんですか？
Wow.
理由なんか必要ない。
なぜなんだろう。すごく気になります。普通が通らない不可解な行動をとります。それがなぜなのか知りたいのです。
Humans sometimes behave irrationally and illogically. That's a callback to Ganao's previous partner, who died by sacrificing his life to protect a single child when they had an opportunity to take out the demon general in turn to save more people, right? So in that sense, Ganao is a utilitarian. He believes the means justify the ends and quantifiable impact justify the cause. We will let the little child die because we have to kill the demon general to save more people. Whereas Ganao's unnamed previous partner, a hero in his own right, he's like, no, we cannot put quantity. We cannot measure the quality of a human life with the quantity of impact. Utilitarianism is flawed because you succumb each human life to a number, to a quantity, to a numerical value. But a human life is infinitely larger and it cannot be measured. It's immeasurable. That's why Ganao's previous partner decided to save that little child. Despite intellectually and logically understanding that, man, that demon general might commit more slaughter, might kill more people because of my decision. But it doesn't matter. A human life is sacred. That's why I'm no longer utilitarian. Because again, some things, such as the sacredness of human life, cannot be measured, cannot be defined and confined to a tiny box of a number. So I think that's what the little demon girl is saying, right?
ただそうなる。それだけのことだ。
Lack of interest.
知る必要はない。
Yep. They're just prey to be killed. Who cares?
そういえば、人類について研究
You said this little girl?
お前が役に立てば教えてやろう。
本当ですか？約束ですよ。
It's this freaking irony, right? The irony of this little cute looking demon who has this curiosity for humanity, aka humans. And she's like, 약속 됐어. She's like, we made a promise. The irony of demons keeping their promises is unbelievable. Like, what? Demons are scrupulous? They're principled beings? Like, what? What a laughing matter, man. What a joke. Anyway, again, even that dialogue between Divine Revolt and that little cute pink-haired demon, there are conversations about who cares about why they do it. They just do it. We don't need to understand it. Do lions care about the thoughts and the thoughts of a sheep? No, they just eat them. They just hunt based on their instincts. Whereas humans, they understand the sacredness of, again, a human loss. That's why they leave behind to protect the bodies. That's why Ganao went an extra effort to strengthen the barrier of the church and so on. And again, think about the dichotomy of Ganao. He voluntarily chose to stay behind to protect the fallen villagers of his hometown, including his former childhood friend, the baker's son. Who can say that Ganao does not grieve? Who can say that Ganao doesn't care? He cares deeply. It's just very tightly packaged under the facade of stoicism. But he understands that they mattered. We grieve deeply because we loved deeply. We grieve because we care, right?
一人で残るのですか？
それほど長い時間でもないだろうからな。ノルム騎士団が死体を引き取りに来たら私も合流する。
So someone's coming to collect the bodies? Okay. By yourself though, it's kind of sketch, no? Stark's volunteer. Oh, do you see that edit right there? Quick pause. Stark was under the shadow, but he came out to the light. He's voluntarily, I think, staying behind along with Ganao. Because I think they had a little bit of a man-to-man bonding session in episode 6, talking with their brick bread, risking shattering their teeth, talking about emotions, grief, the demons, all that. They bonded. And I think Stark, as an orphan of war, I think he relates and he understands Ganao's true heart. I think Stark understands because his mentor, Aizen, was similar. Aizen wasn't the most cuddly, warm, teddy bear golden retriever type mentor. No. Aizen was also very stoic, very stern, but cared deeply. So I think Stark is kind of relating that and understanding. That's why I think he's voluntarily to stay behind with Ganao. One, to also protect the remainings of the fallen villagers. But two, I think he understands instinctively as a man that, oh, Ganao is suffering silently. He is suffering in this isolation. Let's make sure he's not alone. Because social isolation is detrimental to anyone. Stark, you're a real man. You're a G.
俺も村に残るよ。
Oh, so cute bromance.
これから魔族と戦いに行く。
You see, he said, "Are you bagaru? Are you stupid?" Who did he call stupid previously? His fallen previous partner. And remember, I'm pretty sure deep inside, Ganao respected and still respects his fallen partner. So I think even here, when he says, "Are you stupid?" I think it's kind of endearing because he gets it. I think he appreciates Stark's intention.
組んだぞ。前衛がいなくてどうする？
あんただってそうだろ。村に魔族が戻ってきたらどう
Ayo,
する？
got him.
問題ない。私は前衛がいなくてもそれなりに戦える。
All right, Ganao, chill, bro. You're not more powerful than freaking Frieren, Method, and Fern combined. Take a chill pill. Just accept Stark's gesture of kindness.
それはフリーレンたちも同じだろ。
Exactly.
限度があるけどね。
それでもやばくなったらうまく逃げる。
True.
まあね。
True.
でもあんたは
Strategic. That's true.
シュタルク、ここにあるのは死体だ。
Pay attention to Ganao's voice. If you need to, feel free to rewind. Ganao's voice became more gentle. It's a very subtle change, but his tonality became more gentle because he appreciates it. And it's not a reckless, stupid decisions at first glance, but actually deeply thought out and strategic. You're right. Ganao has nowhere to run, whereas the Frieren's party, they could always split and run away.
それを守るためにあんたはここに残るんだろ。
好きにしろ。
Ah, he's convinced.
お前はいいやつだな。俺はお前のようなやつを知っている。
Bro, is Ganao gonna say the same shit with just what he told Method now to Stark? Dude, Ganao, are you a secret preacher? You're just what a binary view of life, good or bad.
俺にはあんたがいいやつに見えるよ。
Ayo, it's true. Just very jaded. Exactly.
俺にはできなかったことだ。
Oh, Stark's regret, his unprocessed grief and regrets as well. They're kind of similar.
それとは正反対の人間だ。北側諸国の平穏のために何だってやってきた。
Utilitarian. It's alright. I respect
その
it.
ために人だって殺してきたし。
Desensitization. Not true.
故
He's
郷
lying.
が滅びたのに何も感じない。
Not true.
ただこうするべきだと思ったから私はこの村に残っている。散々見
What Ganao's saying and his, again, emotional suppression and denial, kind of similar to Frieren in the earlier journey in season 1. I remember this kind of reminds me of a famous quote by Nobel Prize winning a theoretical physicist, Richard Feynman. right? Richard Feynman once said that we don't want to fool people, but the easiest person to be fooled is ourselves. The psychology behind self-deception is fascinating because remember what I said throughout different series. Everyone have cognitive dissonance, and cognitive dissonance is when our beliefs and actions are misaligned. And the only way to address and resolve our cognitive dissonance, which creates emotional incongruences and negative emotional impact, is either changing our beliefs to align with our actions or changing our actions to align with our beliefs. That's the only way. And I think what Ganao has done, and many people who deny their emotions, who use emotional suppression out of necessity, they're doubling down on their actions. So they're trying to deceive themselves by changing their beliefs to align with their actions that I am a stoic. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel sad, even though my friends and my village, my hometown was destroyed. But remember what I said about emotions. Emotions are like waves. As I said this before, we can put up barriers, harbor by the ocean, the beachside, to rest ships. We can regulate and decrease the magnitude of waves. But can we absolutely control waves? No. Emotions ebbs and flow just like waves. That's why emotions always spill over. Emotional suppression works until it does not. Compartmentalization works until it no longer serves you. So Ganao is lying, but I wonder, is he aware he's deceiving himself? Or, like I said, to address his cognitive dissonance, he's modified and he's deceived his own beliefs to such a degree with iteration over time that was compounded over time that he truly believes that he feels nothing. That's also possible too. But he definitely feels sad with everything I said.
シュタルク、北部高原が故郷の人だってたくさんいるんだよ。
Oh, look at Frieren smile. Yo, I thought that ply of wood that Stark was holding was that concussion bread. They almost look the same.
ここからは長距離探知はなるべく使わないようにね。相手が手だれだと逆探知される。はい。
Good
とは言っても
tips.
砦まではまだ距離があるからお話でもしながら歩こう。
そんなんでいいんですか？
緊張と緩和が大事なの。
Oh, her troll face. Is it careless or is it
コミュニ
confidence?
ケーションはチームワークを
And I don't mean just confidence about her own ability. I mean confidence in her teammates. Fern, the first class mage. Fern, the AK-47. Fern, the Zoltrak cannonball. And Method, jack of many trades.
知らなかったでしょ。
Ha!
それでしたらフリーレンさん、なでなでして。
Yo, I see Method tagged along because she wanted to pet Frieren. Kawaii desu. And I'm sure Fern's gonna be pouting and jealous and protective.
真顔
Such
で
a
何
cute
を言っている
dynamic.
んですかこの人。
私、ちっちゃい子の頭をなでるのが好きなのです
Method the
が
mom. Method tried? Did Method seriously ask Zairi if she can pet her? Method, your audacity. You've got balls of steels, my lady. Wow. Respect. Yo.
しかもすごく嫌そうな顔をするんです。
Oh, she straight up tried it.
嫌な顔するよ。
Yo.
だいたい私は目と
You see? Again, Zairi's such a hard exterior, but soft, warm interior. That's why Zairi forced or instructed Ganao to shake hands with Method. She cares deeply for her students and deeply for her humanity. Man, beautiful.
もずっとお姉さんなんだから。なぜなんて許さないよ。
フリーレン様はお姉さんなんだから気安く触らない。
Yo, that's right. Miss Frieren-sama is a mature lady. Don't think you can casually touch her. While Fern is the one that wakes Frieren up, that braids her hair and does a freaking head choke in earlier episodes. Oh man.
フリーレンさん、
I'm dead.
ここに卵を割った時に殻が入らなく
Yo, that prevents pieces of shell falling into cracked eggs. Yo, that is such a pragmatic skills. How many of us can relate? Yo, method. Again, she's highly intuitive. That's why she was teamed up with Ganao. And secondly, she understands what heartstrings to pull with Frieren. I'm sure Frieren's number one hobby of collecting obscure magic spells has been known to everyone. So she's like, are you sure, Frieren-sama? Are you sure I cannot head pet you? Because if you let me, here's a little carrot. It's almost like a Method is dangling a treat for like a cute cat or a dog. Man.
好きなだけ撫でていいよ。フリーレン
Frieren, she's like, what is dignity? Huh? What is dignity? I got none. Yo. And of course, Fern is pouting. Also, knowing the tempo of the show, the more wholesome it is, the more distraught the latter half, the second part of this episode is going to be. So put on your seatbelts, y'all. Yo. Fern is pissed. Yo. Hey, transaction is transaction.
10分までだ。
Ah. Yo, Fern is pouting. Fern is so cute. Oh.
さん少しだけギュ
Whoa,
ッとして
Method,
も
you're
いい
really pushing it.
ゼーリエ様はさせ
You're really pushing it, Method.
もう好きにしていい
Yo!
好きにしていいんです
Yo, Frieren! Yo, where's the integrity? Huh? My goodness, dude. Yo! Ah! Oh, Fern. Look at Fern's body language. She's like, "Argh!" Speaking of bloodlust, Ganao's not the only one with rage being suppressed. Fern is like a volcano about to explode. There she goes. Yo! Ah! 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 Oh! Oh! There they are. Alright, shit's about to get real, y'all. Oh, that was good,
魔力探知されましたね
good
敵
humor.
にこちらの位置がバレました
魔族だね。随分好戦的だ。
Oh, Frieren smiling because speaking of bloodlust, her number one hobby that even far exceeds collecting spells is slaughtering of demons. Let's show them how scary humanity can be. Oh, let's go.
ちが熟練の魔法使いだって分かっているだろうに。
Let's
臆する様
go.
子がない。
But remember, Frieren's mana is being suppressed. So they're only glimpsing into a tiny, tiny fraction of Frieren's true aura. Let's go, dude.
気づかれたな
Oh, kind of sick looking.
始めようか
Let's go. What is this, monk? Monk demon? That's
視
cool.
界と魔力探知を塞がれた。
Oh! Wow. So the fact that Frieren carried Fern means, again, there's levels, man. Sure, Fern is a first-class mage, but Frieren, even when her mana detection skill is being impaired by this fog, her intuition speaks, her experiential wisdom shines.
メトーデと分断されたか。
Another strategy by demons. They're very skilled. Divide and Conquer, Art of War by Sun Tzu. Method.
では俺はあの二人を
Ha! Kim, good luck, my
上
boy.
空からの攻撃に気をつけて。
フリーレン様、
何
Nani?
魔族
Yeah, for so long. Demonic
40
arts.
年前まで
Yep.
空は魔族の独壇場だった。それは今でも同じだよ。
でも魔族は一つの魔法しか研究しないって。
フェルンは歩くことに特別な技術はいると思う。それと同じなんだ。魔
Wow.
族にとって飛行魔法は魔法ですらないんだ。
Wow. Goosebumps. Dude, so it's not even demonic art. It's just their instincts. Like humans walking. It's natural. It's been embedded into their psyche, who they are, the fabric of their existence. Does that mean that for flying spells for demons, it costs no mana or virtually no mana? That's why they can sustain flying. Whereas humans, humanity had to replicate and reverse engineer based on first principles to replicate flying magic. Interesting.
だから野戦ではこういうのはよくあ
Wow. New levels, new devils.
る。やっぱりこいつら戦い慣れているね。
Because they've been fighting nonstop. Oh! What was that noise? Oh, she landed?
どうしですか。
Training.
これは一級魔法使いに与えられた任務だ。一級魔法使いに入るんでしょ。
Damn, Frieren.
フリーレン
So
様
humble.
こんな時に何も問題はないよ。
Wow. Wow. Obviously, Frieren is not being lazy. Maybe she is because of confidence in Fern. But obviously, Frieren is a mentor, first and foremost, to Fern. So this is another perfect opportunity to refine Fern's combat skill. Oh,
ほらね。
he's slow. Hmm?
攻撃は全く探知できませんでした。
Wow. Whoa. All right, pretty strong. Does he not recognize Frieren?
では格上です。私はそうは思わない。
Oh, that confidence. Let's go,
フェルン
mentor.
ほど基本に忠実な一級魔法使いもそうはないから
Yeah.
ね。
As taught by Frieren, the Grey Mage. Let's go. That confidence. Oh, damn, sick transition. Man.
魚釣ってきたぜ。夜食にどうだ？
Oh,
いや
bromance.
いい。メトーデに怒られるんだ。夜食は不健康だってな。
じゃあ俺だ
Yo.
け。
Obviously, Ganao is using that as an excuse because you think he cares about Method's nagging? Method isn't his wife, right? Method has no right to nag at Ganao, her senpai, her senior. But I think, again, think about Ganao's character psychological profile. Seemingly aloof, very rigid, very stoic. So I think what he's doing is this is part of emotional suppression, emotional detachment. Just like how Frieren was in the beginning of her journey, I think Ganao is carefully putting up a wall. He does not want to get emotionally attached to Stark by accepting his gesture of kindness, because death is all too common among first-class mages and in the Northern Plateau. So him saying no to Stark's offer of fish is not because of method. It's because of his intentional emotional detachment. But that's a lonely existence,
こ
my
の
man.
時間は小腹が減るんだよな。
Oh. Oh, shit.
フェルンには言わないでね。
Is Divine Revolt coming? Oh, no.
お前も苦労しているようだな。
Grief and trauma. See? Ganao gets it too. They see themselves in each other.
村を襲った魔族に心当たりがあるんだろ？
See?
四
He
刀
picked
流
it
の
up.
魔族なんてそういるものじゃない。真偽のレボルテ、私の相棒を殺した魔族だよ。
Same demon general.
なんだか仰々しい名前だな。
That is a grandiose name.
それは奴が魔法で作り上げ
Whoa, that's cool. Wow.
時には巨岩のように重い。神話の時代に山を砕いた剣になぞらえて
Divine cleaving
真偽の
swords.
再建と呼ばれている。
Damn.
軽くて鋭くてとんでもなく重いって。
That's pretty sick.
特に魔法で作られた武器というのは殺意の塊だ。
Question. So based on the deconstruction and the mechanism of magic in Frieren's world setting in season 1, and again, feel free to correct me or add information to it. I thought you can only cast magic by visualizing what it is. Just like Ubel's magic type, right? So you have to understand the mechanism for it to internalize it and then to visualize it, and therefore to cast as magic spell. Is that the same mechanism, the same process for demons, or are they more intuitive, which is maybe an edge or advantage point that humanity doesn't have?
こういう武器を作る魔族は大勢殺す。まるで試
Just for the sake of truly demonic. Oh,
シュタルク、
they're here.
分かっている。敵だろ。
So they're gonna face divine revolt.
早いな。来るぞ。
Oh, where is he? Oh shit! Dang! Whoa! He's fast. Go Stark. Good parry. Very good parry. Damn, he's ripped. What's your workout regimens, Revolt-sama? Huh?
導流。
戦士一人に一級魔法使い一人。やはり村を守っていたか。
Also, quick prediction. Remember what I analyzed in the beginning of the episode? I think Divine Revolt symbolizes trauma exposure. Ganao experienced his first trauma of losing his previous partner, which Divine Revolt killed, and his trauma was re-exposed and reactivated the second time when his home village was slaughtered. So if, based on my framework, based on my thinking process, think about the name of Divine Revolts. What does divine mean? Divine means something superior, right? That's extraordinary. But you can also view divinity, divine, through the concept of being constant. It's always there. Second, revolt. What does revolt mean? Revolt mean revolution, revolting against something. Divine revolt together, I'm analyzing and interpreting the name of divine revolt as trauma will always be constant, and we will re-experience trauma unless we confront it, we heal through it, we do something about it. I think that's what the scene represents, and I think that's the thesis of the episode.
そこの一級魔法使いはどこかで見た顔だ。何
Let's go. Because she
正
can
面
shift
から受けれ
weights
ば最悪消し飛ぶ。
and your weapon. It's true.
何者だと聞いている。
お前は害虫を
Oh, sheesh.
と歪んだ認識だ。
You're a one twisted person coming out of a demon general's mouth? Just like Yakusok earlier making promises. What a joke, bro.
我らには言葉があるというのに。
Man, deception.
だがお前たちが話し合いを望まないという
It's all
のであれ
strategy.
ば。
から受けるなってどうすりゃいいんだ。
戦士なら受け流すくらいできるだろう。
Parry, baby. Let's go, Stark. Oh!
けどそれじゃ。
Ooh. Oh. Oh. Front line. Nice. Oh,
ケナ
goosebumps.
を守れない。
守る必要なんてないさ。
I think he's
こう見
strategizing.
えて接近戦は得意なんだ。
So Ganao's not moving. I think he's strategizing. He's analyzing Revolt's movements. Nice. Was that a magic spell? Oh no, he got heavier. Oh. Damn, Ganao. Oh! Whoa, look at that backflip. What the?
この世ならざる物質を作り出すのは何も魔族の魔法だけじゃない。
Oh, look at that. What is that? Yo!
翼を操る魔法。
Yo, that's sick. No! No! It had to end like this? Man, all right. Oh, that was a blue ball moment. This episode, that was a third cliffhanger this episode. My goodness. All right. My last yap, my analysis before closing out. Remember what I said. I think Devon Revolt symbolizes trauma exposure. And let me go a level deeper. Think about the strategy of Frieren's party. They split. I think that team split is extremely symbolic. Twofold. One of the Frieren, Fern, and Method, they split into the forest. And forest symbolizes uncertainty, unknown, which paths to take. Where is lurking danger? Where are the demons hiding? Forest, uncertainty. That makes sense, right? But also, Frieren's party, they symbolize confrontation and facing our trauma head on. Through support, because there's three of them, right? Through safety, through guidance of Frieren. So confrontation through safety and guidance. That's what that represents. Whereas Ganao and Stark staying behind symbolizes grief, honoring our emotions. What does that say? That's how all of us need to confront and move through our healing journey. We need to do two things. Only acknowledging our emotions, only honoring our grief, only processing our emotions and trauma is not enough. It's very big components of healing, but we also need the confrontation. We also need to face our circumstances that we call trauma head on. Otherwise, we will continue to live under the shadow of our trauma. But remember, trauma is circumstances that we cannot control. That's traumatic to us. But in order for us to be untethered from traumatic experiences, for us to ensure that trauma does not define who we are, and trauma or label or diagnosis do not become our identities, we need to face our trauma head on. We need to eventually move through it and then overcome it. That's what the team split represents. That's why we need to address our emotions, grieving, honoring, memorializing the fallen villagers and one May, but also fighting, moving through it, confronting it. Together, through their effort, I'm sure next episode they'll be triumphant. They'll overcome those two demons that were in the air and Divine Revolt himself. Anyway, I hope that's encouraging for many of you guys, whatever you might be going through, big T trauma or small T trauma. And I hope you enjoy my yapping. Man, I cannot wait for episode 8. Oh, the peak action, that's going to be sick. As always, thank you for tuning in, right? And make sure you're subscribed to make sure the videos show up on your feed, and join our Patreon family or YouTube members for early access and exclusive content as we started the show 86 as part of our Patreon exclusive series. Thank you for tuning in, guys. And remember, we all matter, we are all worthy, and we need to put in the work to live a thriving, well-fulfilled life, especially with healing. Until next time, peace.